It's late January in this winter landscape. Central New York, where Zone 5B gets down into the negative Fahrenheit range. It hasn't done that much lately, but it does do that historically. We get cold, long winters. Not a lot of food to be eaten in this landscape this time of year. However, there is one character that stays loaded with incredible candies pretty much straight through the winter around here. Let me introduce you. In our woods, if you want to know where to go, just follow the path of the deer. You can see they're coming through here pretty much every day in the winter, every evening. They follow these paths, sometimes one, sometimes groups of 3 or 4. You can see here where a couple more deer joined and walked through this entranceway into a little glade in here. Back in 2009, we planted around 15 trees in here, a mix of pawpaws and American persimmon. And American persimmon is still loaded with fruit. It's pretty crazy to see the focus of traffic underneath this tree. You can see it's just like basically packed. Every day a number of deer come through to pick up whatever fruit is on the ground. We've been shaking and enjoying the dropped fruit since around Thanksgiving. You can see there's probably about 100, 200, maybe a little bit more fruit up in there. They have frozen and thawed a number of times. They've dried down quite a bit, but they're still absolutely delicious. Let me shake a few out. That was about 10 or 15 just popped down. Perfect amount for a midday nibble. What I like to do is shake out a handful, eat a few, and then leave a bunch for the deer. Let's see if we can get this in focus. So there you go. Perfect winter snack, incredibly soft. You'd never find this in the grocery store because they have to look like this to taste delicious. But right now, this basically will melt in my mouth. It's got some little hard seeds that I can save for propagating. And the flavor is somewhere between, I would say, a mild tangerine and a caramel. And for late January, to have fresh fruit like that, it's basically magic. Here's another one. I generally like to pack my mouth with about 6 or 7 of them and get back to work. I feel like I've observed over the years that the colder the winter we have, the more the fruit holds on these trees. If we have a really mild winter, a lot of it sheds and drops. And there's a lot of variability. Some trees drop a little bit earlier. I think over time I'd like to select for trees that hold deeper and deeper in the winter. I imagine all the white ash in our overstory, as they succumb to emerald ash borer, being swapped out for plants like chestnuts and northern pecans, but definitely American persimmon. If we can be eating candy through the winter each year, and so can the deer, I'd be very pleased with that. I wish I'd caught it on camera, but I just saw a plump, glossy, happy little vole pop out from underneath the snow right there, grab a persimmon, and drag it right back in. They know the deal. American persimmon takes quite a while to start bearing from a seedling. It could be anywhere from 6 to 8 years or a little bit longer. These have been in the ground for now 10 years, and this one tree has cropped for about 4 years or so and starting to really come into its own. It had a ton of growth last year despite the drought. So it's a wonderful tree. Highly recommend if you're in a cold climate with nice long cold winters, maybe zone 5, although these are from trees that were selected from New Hampshire, so they're zone 4 hardy. But by and large, you want to look for American persimmon seedlings or varieties that are selected from regions not too different from yours. So if I were to buy persimmons from, Missouri or Indiana, I don't think I'd have nearly as much success as persimmons that came from New Hampshire or New York State. It's starting to become a bit of a tradition when I come out here to work, is to work for a nice chunk of the day, and when I'm ready for a little snack or something sweet, come over to the persimmon, give it a shake, eat a few for me, leave a bunch for the voles, leave a bunch for the deer. The beautiful part about this is now the trees are tall enough, the deer absolutely only support the persimmon. They bring them manure and take the fruit that drops. And if I needed to, if I wanted to hunt, I definitely know where to go. That's a huge traffic jam in there. But we've got enough going on food-wise for us, so might as well just let the deer enjoy too. Thanks, Persimmon. You're a cool tree.